There are so many crochet questions that I get all the time, and here's a selection of 5 fairly different kinds of questions with answers that I thought that might be interesting. What do you think is better for beginners to make clothes with, knitting or crocheting? Not an easy question, but I would say crochet in the sense that it's easier because you only have one live stitch, while in knitting you have the whole round or row of live stitches and it's more likely that you drop them. But apart from that, either, because the important thing is that you enjoy it, so I would say that to try both and concentrate on which one you prefer. Do you have some favorite stash busting ideas? My favorite projects at the moment for stash busting are ones where you use many yarns at the same time. You know, you make a one thick yarn by putting many together, 4, 5, 6, even 7. I just recently made this here scarf like that and a tutorial for that. And I've made many in the past, like this here afghan that I'm still using all the time. And on the video about the scarf, I'm explaining how I work with the yarns so that the colors change gradually. So that's my favorite at the moment for larger projects. But there's for instance, all the small decorations that I do and scarves and things like that are great for using up leftover yarn. Then a question that comes up quite regularly in any discussions about crochet or also knitting. And the question is what to do if you have lost the motivation to crochet. The first thing I would say, if crochet is your hobby, not your work, that don't force yourself. What would happen if you stopped crocheting for a month or 6 months or a year? Most likely nothing. So don't force yourself. If you keep thinking, I have to crochet today, that's even then more likely that you don't enjoy it. So just stop crocheting altogether. If you are also a knitter, switch over to knitting or any other crafts. Sewing, bead making, felting, anything like that. And again, if you don't feel like any of those, then don't do any of them. Just go out for walks and gym, anything else. And something that can also keep that from happening is that you have enough of variation in what you crochet. For me, it's always important to have several projects on the go at the same time, so I can switch between them. Especially if I'm making something big, like a blanket, that I then also have some smaller things and different types of things, so that you would always keep the interest by using different types of yarns, different size of hooks, and different stitches and so on. If you find that scrolling Instagram or whatever for crochet photos, that gives you more inspiration, then it's good to do that. But if on the contrary that makes you feel anxious that you should be doing those things, then don't go for those apps at all. But more than anything, give yourself time, take a break, and see if your motivation comes back. What is your favorite beginner's project to recommend? Definitely a dishcloth or washcloth or any kind of a cloth that's small and square. Then you get it finished quickly. You can use any kind of stitch. It doesn't really matter about counting the stitches at that stage yet. So yeah, that definitely. Do you have a favorite crochet technique to connect granny squares together? Yes, definitely. And that is joining as you go. So that you join the squares on the last round instead of first finishing them and then using whatever method to join them together. I like that sort of lazier look, that there's no seam in between there. I'm in the corner of a granny square and I'm going to join another one here. Take a square that's finished and set it wrong sides facing against the one you are working on. Chain 1, insert the hook in the corner, take the yarn and make a slip stitch. That attaches it. Chain 1 again, return to the one you are working on and make the second granny stitch in the corner normally. After that, insert the hook in the next chain space in the finished square and pull the yarn straight through and make a slip stitch. And then again return to continue your square. And you continue the same with each chain space you have there, also the corner. Here we are. You can also add a chain or two more at the places where you join. You probably noticed that these were taken from various older videos. I like to do that, take bits of old videos and put them into new ones, because there are so many things that can be useful to various people and yet they haven't seen it maybe a year ago or 2 years ago. So it's worth doing that. Was there something new to you in those ones? I find myself that in spite of having crocheted for so many decades, there's always something new, and I love to share it with others. Until next time.